Okay, so today we're going to be graphing inequalities and also checking to see if ordered pairs are solutions of inequalities. So here are the notes. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do so, but we're just going to move ahead to problem number 1. So it says determine if each of the ordered pairs is a solution of the inequality. So solution means is it an answer to the inequality. So here's my inequality. X is less than or equal to 4. So I just need to put in my x and y. But notice that there is only an x, so I'm going to put x is 8. So 8 is less than or equal to 4. So is that true? No. So then this one is not a solution. Okay, so now problem number 2. Take this x and put it in for the x in the inequality. So we got 4 is less than or equal to 4. That is true. So yes, 4 comma 3 is a solution of the inequality. So we'll just keep going. So x and y, for this one it's only y is greater than 3. So I just need 10 is greater than 3. That is true, so that's a yes. And then the second part of the question is 5 comma negative 2. So I only need the negative 2 is greater than 3. That's a no. So some could be both yeses, both no's, one of each. It doesn't really matter. All right, so for the next problem, we got 2 times 5 minus 2, which is 10 minus 2. So that is 8 is greater than negative 3. And yes, that is a true statement. The next one, we've got 2 times negative 3 minus negative 1. So that's negative 6 plus 1, which is negative 5 is greater than negative 3. That is not true. So the first one's yes, the second one is no. This one, we've got 3 times 0 plus 2 times 5. So 0 plus 10 is less than or equal to 8. That is a no. 10 is not less than or equal to 8. And then negative 2 and 6. So 3 times 6 plus 2 times negative 2. So 18 minus 4 is 14. Is that less than or equal to 8? That is also a no. So these are both no. The biggest thing with these is just make sure you don't mix up your x and y. Otherwise, I think most people are pretty good about substituting x's and y's. All right, for graphing inequalities, we'll go back to these steps. First, you need to solve for y. So it's going to be y equals mx plus b. So notice in this problem, we need to move the 4x to the other side. We've done this with equations. So we've got 4x plus 6, and then we're going to divide everything by 2. So we have y is less than or equal to 2x plus 3. All right, that's step 1. Step 2 is decide if it's dotted or solid. If it's dotted, it has no equals underneath. If it's solid, it does have the equals underneath. So this one being less than or equal to, that's a solid line. And since it's less than, that tells me I'm going to shade below. So below is less than or equal to. Above is greater than or equal to. All right, so I'm going to do, starting at plus 3, just like we graph lines, we're going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. That's my slope. You can go down 2 into the left 1. And then I'm going to draw in my line. It's a solid line. And I need to shade below the line. So I'm just going to use a highlighter for my shading here. Okay, so I'm going to shade below. Then we're all done. If you want, you can check on your calculator. You can go to y equals, and my equation is 2x plus 3. Here's just the line itself. If you want your calculator to do the inequality part, move over to the left and hit enter until it shades below, and then hit graph. And then that should graph the same way that you have here. Okay? You don't have to do the checking on your calculator. That's just optional. All right, this one is a vertical line because it's just x, and it's a solid line because it has the greater than or equal to. And since it's greater, that means I'm going to shade above. So I'm going to go and make a vertical line at negative 4. It's a solid line. Now, above and below for the vertical line, it's really right and left. So the numbers that are greater than negative 4 are to the right. So I'm going to shade to the right. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Just a few more questions. All right, so we're going to solve for y here first. So I'm going to subtract 2x. We have negative 5y is less than negative 2x plus 20. Divide by negative 5. Now notice that I'm dividing by a negative, so I need to flip my sign. So it's y is greater than 2/5 x minus 4. All right, so now I'm going to decide if it's dotted or solid. It's a dotted line. I'm going to shade above. I'm going to go to negative 4, and I'm going to go up 2 over 5, up 2 over 5. I'm going to make a dotted line, so make sure that this is a dashed. and I'm going to shade above. So the biggest thing is, just like any inequalities, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, sorry you didn't see any of that, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, then you need to flip the symbol. All right, this one I'm going to add 2x. 3y is less than or equal to 2x minus 12. Divide by 3, and I get y is less than or equal to 2/3 x minus 4. Okay, so I need to decide, is it dotted or solid? It's solid, and I shade below. So I'm going to go to -4, go up 2/3, and then this time it's a solid line, and I need to shade below. So you can use a highlighter, you can use your pen or pencil, doesn't matter how you want to shade. You can make your graphs look pretty if you want. All right, this one is just y, so this is a horizontal line. It is dotted because it doesn't have the or equal to, and I need to shade below. So find y is 5, make a dotted horizontal line, and then I need to shade below. A couple more. Sometimes we have to solve for x. So add 2x to both sides. You got -4y is less than or equal to 2x plus 12. Divide everything by -4, and I get y is greater than or equal to -1/2 x minus 3. So notice I flipped my sign because I divided by a negative. Okay, so now I'm going to start at -3, go down 1/2, down 1/2. If I want to go up 1 and 2 to the left, that's fine too. This one is a solid line because it's got the or equal to, and I need to shade above. Alright, so I'd say the most important thing is making sure you still know how to solve for y. That's a skill we have from Algebra 1, and then decide if it's dotted or solid and above or below. But if you can solve for y correctly, you can at least get more of the problem correct. If you can't solve for y correctly, then the whole rest of the problem is messed up. Alright, so here we're subtracting 3x, dividing by 4. It's a positive 4, so we don't flip the sign. We have y is less than or equal to -3/4 x plus 2. So I start at plus 2, go down 3/4, down 3/4. I need to make a solid line. And because it's less than, it's going to shade below. So I need a solid line and shade below. Alright, last problem. So we need to subtract x. Notice it's still -y is less than -x plus 3, so that negative sign stays with the y, so I need to divide by -1 now. Since I divided by a negative, I flip my sign, and so this is really going to be positive x minus 3. So I have greater than, that's a dotted line, and it's above. So I'm going to start at -3, go up 1/1, and make a dotted line. Shade above, and then I'm all done. If I want to check on my calculator, again, I can go to y equals, go to x minus 3, and to do the greater than part, you just move over to the left, hit enter until you have shade above. Sorry, I skipped it. There's shade above, and then hit graph, and then that should match what you have on your paper. So remember, use your calculator to help you check your results, and hopefully you'll get more of these graphs correct.